Hey everybody, this is Larry. This is day 20th of the Leetcode Day Challenge. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, join me on Discord. Let me know what you think about today's problem. And today we have 2567 minimum absolute difference in sliding submatrix. Today I ran a couple of miles just to keep the legs loose, but tomorrow I am flying, so I don't know when that video is going to come out, to be honest, just because I think the prime releases when I'm on the plane, and then maybe I have time during a layover. It's a very long layover, so maybe I have to use the time ticket or whatever the first time that would happen if that's the case. But we will see. But yeah, let's yeah. But either way, let's take a. Oh, actually, I don't know. Maybe the time zone will make it work. It's actually not super clear to me, but either way, I have to go back and also take a nap. I am tired. I am pooped, and probably irresponsible to not pack at least a little bit before taking a nap. So, I'll try to sleep a lot on the plane anyway. It's all weird. Flying is weird. Timing is weird. I should have done this the day before. In any case, let's take a look at today's problem. We have minimum absolute differences in sliding submatrix. You're given a matrix and an integer k. For every contiguous k by k submatrix, compute the minimum absolute difference between any two distinct values within that submatrix. Okay. Minimum absolute, so the closest between two distinct values in that submatrix, right? Okay. How would I think about this, right? I think the first thing is just look at the constraints to make sure that we're not doing anything too crazy. And, that's only 900 squares, right? Not divided by 30. And then you're going to have, even if you do, yeah. The short answer is just that the complexity is that we don't have to do anything fancy. If my math is correct, because it's going to be 30 square r times c, and then k is going to be just, well, k square. So let's just say you look at k squared times, and that's going to be 1,000 for each of these cells, which, there are constraints, so it's not going to be quite, it's just going to be 900 square, which is fast enough. So that gives me confidence that we can just do it the naive way and not overthink things, especially since I'm trying to get out of here. So yeah, let's try, and then maybe we have like start, let's just say this, right? For starting x, for starting y, and then we have for dx in range of k, for dy in range of k, right? But before that, we want the smallest differences. It's all kind of weird. How do I want to write the smallest differences, right? Or distinct difference? The way that I want to think about it is probably using like a sorted, or I was gonna say a sorted list, but sorted list has more overhead than just like a list that you can, because you don't even have to do it dynamically, at least not the way that we're writing it. Maybe there's a part 2 tomorrow, but we just have a list, right? So maybe we for values, right? Then we have we dot append, or maybe we have it as a set because it's supposed to be distinct, right? So then we have add grid of sx, sy, not really, plus dx, plus dy. But of course, you have to make sure that they're in bound. So maybe there's a different way to write it, right? So maybe we can write x is from, no, because we should probably just convert this, right, to minus k, right? I think that should make it good enough, right? So then now we convert this to a sorted list, right? And then, or maybe just sort. Oh no, it's a set. That's why I did it this way. And then yeah, just look at two adjacent values. I'm just right. Oops. And then b minus a, and then we just kind of get, what are we trying to return? What are we returning with this? Oh, that's the answer at that value. That is kind of weird, but okay, fine. Fine, right? Let's just say infinity, right? That's not quite right, right? It's this minus k plus 1, maybe? It's very possible that I've been off by 1 in a lot of places. But is this minus 1? Or, so if k is 1, then yeah, I think this is plus 1. Maybe I'm wrong, right? But yeah, and then ends dot or ends of sx sy is equal to min of this and this, right? And then now if this is equal to infinity, that can only happen if this has 1 element, then we just set it to 0. Something like this. It's very awkward. I don't know. We'll see. Right? Oh, I'm gonna YOLO submit. It's a little bit awkward, so we'll see. Okay, it's good enough for me. Because yeah, because of the sorting, this is gonna be, so this is O of n, where n is O times c. This is also another O of n-ish, right? So this is going to be n square. The sorting is actually on n square elements, or sorry, on n elements, right? Because, well, this can have n elements, so this sort is actually n log n times n, right? So it's going to be n squared log n is the complexity. Kind of, but, you know, sorting is very fast. So I'm not super worried, but what did I do last time? Just curious. Because I did the same thing, really, more or less. I used pairwise, though. Maybe I should have. There's something that I need to be better about instead of writing it this way, because I think pairwise is a little bit more efficient than zip. But I always forget about it, honestly. But yeah. That's it. That's all I have for today. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. Stay good, stay healthy, to good mental health. I'll see y'all later and take care. Bye bye.